Do you want to take roll? Yep.
All right, let me get some notes. Gambler?
Aye, here, whatever, I don't know.
Tone?
Here.
Beckman?
Present.
Rule?
Here.
Curtis? Here. Moda?
Present.
And excused as Mayor Arnold.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
This meeting was properly noticed. Next, I'm looking for a motion or discussion on the agenda. Is there anyone who'd like to approve it?
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Okay, so the visitors' comments and the utility communications. So my question is, Kyle, since this is closed session information,
Basically, the comments were submitted to the commissioners.
only so we can adjust this in closed session, not read it
I
now?
think that's fair.
Okay.
He's not here to speak to it, but it was addressed to the commissioners.
Okay, all right. And are there any other? Okay. Next, we have our consent agenda. Do we have any discussion or a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Sandy.
I'll second.
Thank you, Laura. All those in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Same sign. Motion passes. Next, we have unfinished business. So at each of your seats, there should have been a set of draft bylaws. I am going to ask that each one of you take the draft bylaws home, review it, send me comments, and then we will look at a revised copy with everyone's comments consolidated at the December meeting, and hopefully we'll be able to, hopefully we'll be able to pass the bylaws in December then. If there's any questions as you're going through it, please feel free to give me a call. One of the things I was going to note, Mike, you had mentioned something about the credits a while back needing to be in the bylaw, and I didn't have any information on that, so I didn't add that. So if you want to forward that.
Thank you.
Any questions on that? Okay. Our next meeting is December 15th. So if I could get the bylaws back to me, I'm just looking here, I should have thought of this ahead of time. By the 12th, by December 12th, then I can incorporate your comments and thoughts. Okay. Next, we'll move on to new business. And the first thing on here is election of utility commissioners and officers. So we'll start with president.
Do you need a nomination?
Yep.
I'll nominate Sarah.
Thank you. Does anybody else have a nomination?
I'll second.
Thank you. Do we need to approve each one separately, or can we do it all together?
I think I would ask for any other nominations for president and then run that through.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for president? Going once? Going twice? All those in favor? Aye. of Sarah?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, I'm honored. Vice President. Do we have a nomination for Vice President?
I nominate,
2 nominations for Mike. Would you like to continue?
I will accept the nomination, thank you.
Great. Any other nominations? All those in favor, aye. Anyone opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
And next, we have the secretary. Do we have any nominations for the secretary? I'd like to nominate Brooke.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? Going once, going twice. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Congratulations, it's yours whether you wanted it or not. Okay, moving on. Next, we have the financial reports.
Okay, so included in your packet was the treasurer's report, the cash disbursements report, the first purchase order register, and then I sent out the income statements with the graphs and the accounts payable report and the second purchase order register. Do you want to go through anything? Do you just want to ask questions? How do you?
Yep, I'd like you to give a summary, please.
Okay. So what I handed out tonight is what I emailed you. I just highlighted a few things, just that you don't see often. On page 1, the second to last one, Border States Electric is for $4,564.77. We're finally having some inventory coming in, which is good. So just to let you know that. On the second page, the third one down, the Columbus School District, it's a E3P incentive, and so you'll notice on your treasurer's report, we have an E3P account. It's energy efficiency enhancement is what the 3E stand for. So it's, you know, when they do a project, which they did a big project, and you'll see 2 within this report, the schools, but it's usually upgraded lighting or refrigeration and with the construction they've done, and they work with Anna very closely to see what qualifies and what doesn't. So they had submitted all the paperwork for that. If you, page 3, the second one, Forrester Electric Engineering, they're starting, this is a budgeted item project, they're starting that Transruptor project at sub 3, so this is the start of it. That was for $4,742.50. Also, if you go 2 down from that, just wanted to give you all an update, HJ Pertzborn, so these are the lead replacement, the program that we're getting funding through the DNR. All of the ones on the list for the money we were awarded have been done. So you'll see another one in here for Bright Plumbing. Those were the 2 plumbers. I am waiting for 6 to be invoiced yet, and we have until the end of December to do our, and that will be our last reimbursement.
Until
So-
next year?
Until next year, and then we'll have to do the same if they have the program still, and then we'll have to do the application process and the award process, which I hope they do, because we already have a list of 15 on there. And we're really getting down to, we probably have, I think, 65 left, so this program has really helped us.
That's exciting.
It is, really is. Because without that grant, we probably wouldn't have been able to get that program done like that. So if you turn to page 4, the second to the last one, Midwest Testing, and I just highlighted this. These are testing the water plant meters, the effluent and influent meters. We have to get those done every other year. And we try to do one plant, the 2 meters there, and the following year, the next 2. But with some problems we had to get them all 4 done. And that's a DNR requirement. So we had them tested and they're all good. So that was great news. On page 5, the first one, the PC connection sales, that is the rest. This was also a budgeted item to replace our server. So this was kind of the majority of it. We were getting little invoices at the beginning, but this was the lump sum. So that has been changed out. That was for $6,495.69. And then if you go 2 below that, Prairie Ridge Health, they also had an E3P project with their upgrade out at the hospital. Their incentive was $10,000. And if you go to the last one, Stuart Irby, this was for a transformer pad and ground sleeves for $7,435. Again, inventory items that are finally coming in. On page 6, the last one is Wright Plumbing, which, that was the other plumber that was doing a lot of the lead replacement. So if you go to the next report, the wastewater purchase order register, I did highlight 2 large items on here, and I believe Katie talked about these at the last meeting. The Crane Engineering ones, the one to repair of the filter pump for $13,868, and then the installation of the rebuilt Aurora, am I saying that right? Aurora filter pump for $3,075.86. And that's all I had to be pointed out, unless if there's questions on anything else, I'd be happy to answer.
Do you know how we're doing on inventory? Are we starting to get a decent stockpile?
Not a stockpile. We're getting necessities in, we'll have 1 or 2, there if needed, but not a comfortable level yet, no.
Okay. Okay, and
I had a question, actually. Just wanted some clarification on the E3P incentive, now that we have 2 of them here.
Yes.
Is that done pretty much administratively through WPPI and staff, or was there any discussion here? I know I missed the last 2 meetings, so I didn't hear about these previously, but
Okay,
is there
so
an approval that
the
happens?
E3P fund was actually put into our rates at our last rate case in 2012. So it is 1% of our revenues gets set aside for these programs. The commission, Anna, the customer service manager from WPPI, her and I work together. She presents the programs that are administered, which with commission approval. And then those programs are put into place, and she actually heads them, meets with the customers, and because sometimes besides the E3P fund, it might also fall in a focus on energy, and she's very, she has a lot of experience working with these people, and she knows the ins and outs, so she does a great job. She reaches out to new customers, or if anybody has brought up like, oh, I see so-and-so is redoing something at their restaurant or whatever, she reaches out to them to try to promote these, so.
But there's no approval that's required from the commission for the individual grants that are,
No, because the programs are approved by the commission, then the incentives that are given are approved by the commission, but they follow the program.
the guidelines.
Does that?
so we've had an internal discussion, and I've asked Michelle to come back. I think we're going to do it around January, sort of depends how the December meeting goes. But to meet with Anna and find out programs that we can promote more strongly in our community and how to promote them so that we can use our funds that we have, and our residents and our businesses can really reap the benefit.
Because her and I have already been discussing and what we implemented this year, and I know Kyle, she reached out to you too. We do a quarterly newsletter email to business owners, and we put a lot of those programs, that they're available in there. But yeah, we're trying to go over how we can really get it out in the community so people can take advantage.
And
the
we've
reason.
asked for her to connect with Kyle and David, the city IT, I'm not sure what to call it.
Multimedia and Communications Director.
Thank you. On how we can market the programs that we decide on when we move forward, so that everybody knows about them a little better.
That's the reason I asked, is because it's part of our local rate, and it seems like a partnership or an opportunity for us to promote that.
Yep.
That this is
Absolutely.
what happened with the new school or the hospital expansion, and like I said, I missed the last few meetings, so I didn't know if it was discussed at all, but I think it's
And-
another opportunity to promote that.
Absolutely.
That's part of your rate.
Absolutely.
And then every year Anna comes usually in the beginning of the year to the commission if there are any new programs or input from the commission, if we could add or, revise or whatnot.
Great.
And so,
Thanks, that helps.
you're welcome.
I have a question on that then. The program development part of it, is that done locally here? Do we have a lot of autonomy on the programs we set up to disperse those funds?
Well,
I mean, provided that it falls inside the energy efficiency.
so there are guidelines that have to be followed.
Right.
And that is set in place. And then Anna Anna tries to come up, whether it's with other municipalities, tries to get all the information she can about what kind of programs we can offer that will best benefit, our customers.
I think it'd be good to see, what programs we
Yep.
are offering right now, and then, we can,
And
that'd be great to look at that after the first of the year. Thank you.
Is everybody comfortable with my time frame of January for that?
Yeah.
would you like to see the programs that are currently before then? You want me
That
to?
would be great, yeah.
Okay, I can,
Like, I just learned, and this is my bad, that, did you know you can turn in your old Christmas lights, 2 of them, and get a new one? I didn't know that.
and that, we've been doing that program for 3 years now, and it is always a huge success. We also do the lamp recycling with the ballast lights. We do that twice a year. A lot of commercial accounts turn in their light bulbs. So we have some really good successful programs.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle.
Yep.
Do we want a synopsis of the programs for December's meeting? before we add it?
Yeah, we'll have Michelle send us the synopsis with the December packet,
Yeah,
and then we'll have Anna join us in January
sure.
to go over a plan for 2023. Okay. Michelle, did you have anything else to share on the financials?
No, I did not.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on the financials? If there are no questions, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the utility financial reports.
Thank you, Mike.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. And this is money, so we have to do a roll call.
Beckman? Approve. Motive?
Aye.
Curtis? Rule?
Aye.
Andler? Tome?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Wonderful. Next on our agenda is to discuss the 2023 Columbus Utility Commission meeting dates and times. Michelle, do you want to take the lead on that?
Yeah, so every year, we set the next year's meeting dates, and obviously, they also could be subject to change, if something would come up, but it kind of gives a template for now. We do move the September 1 to Wednesday. That doesn't affect the city council meeting, and it doesn't conflict with the WPPI's annual meeting. So, and I had put in there that, the meetings are at City Hall, and the starting times are at 6:30. And so this is the time the commission can decide to keep everything the same or to change things.
Does anybody see any major conflicts?
No, I'm comfortable proceeding with the schedule that Michelle's laid out for us. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we need actual motions on that?
Yep, so I took his as a motion.
Okay, do we have a second motion?
I'll second.
We have 3. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the wastewater filter backwash pump discussion.
Good evening. On September 30th, our backwash filter pump number 2 failed to run, leaving us with our only backwash pump number 1. Typically, this backwash pump runs throughout the evening hours, backwashing our tertiary sand filters. We called Crane Engineering, who is familiar with our pumps and has repaired them in the past, to come and remove the pump and diagnose it. They found the pump shaft sleeves, bearings to be heavily worn. One bearing was missing. The bowl shaft is completely locked tight. I am requesting to waive the requirement of 3 quotes, as Crane Engineering is familiar with our facility, has repaired these pumps in the past, also has our pump, and is familiar with the operation of the facility. I'm also requesting the repair of the 25 horsepower Aurora vertical turbine pump for the quoted amount of $20,747 plus the upgrade of a mechanical seal, which is $24.98. I would also like to note that this is one of 2 backwash pumps, and we do not currently have redundancy. So it is imperative that this is to repair it as soon as possible. And just as a backup plan, I requested a quote for a new replacement pump. A new pump would be available in 16 to 22 weeks in the amount of $76,470.
You knew what I would ask, didn't you?
I did. We've been there before, Sarah. So that's all I have, but like I said, it's very urgent that this is repaired very quickly. They have looked ahead and already ordered the parts, and so they said that they would just eat the cost if, you denied them repairing the pump, but we would like to see it back in place and have 2 pumps again real soon.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Katie?
Do they offer any kind of a warranty on their rebuild? Or?
Oh, and you've asked me that before. I could get you that answer, but they typically have some kind of warranty. I don't have the answer to that, and I should have gotten it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
Next time I'll learn.
Just
maybe.
trying to understand.
Mike?
Yeah, I understand the urgency, not having any redundancy. My main
Right.
question would be the funding source list, building repairs and maintenance, and I know that the wastewater utility has a lot of pump replacement funds and things like that they've put money into over the years, and I'm wondering, where this pump is on its life cycle, whether it was planned for failure sooner or later, how long it's going to last, and whether this qualifies for any of that type of funding.
I did ask how long this is probably going to last, and they suggested it probably would be anywhere from 10 to 15 more years.
Okay.
And that is also with the, that's where the mechanical seal comes in, because there's a little less maintenance and wear and tear with the mechanical seal.
Did we have anything left in the budget for this?
Yes.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have a question. Thanks for the information, Katie.
Sure.
So this was obviously a shock to everybody for you guys down there. Is there some sort of inspection schedule to where we've got, just kind of wondering how this kind of, just kind of blew up on us? If we
No,
try to look to avoid that in
it just
future?
happened. It
Yeah.
was running, and there's no real maintenance that can be done on these pumps. I thought that they were supposed to be greased. Apparently, they are not.
Okay.
And so they just run and run and run until they don't run. So.
So there's no possible for anticipation of this, that we just.
Not
wait for
really,
failure?
And I really, seeing as I've only been here for a year and a half, I really don't know the history of this particular pump either.
I got you.
So I really can't give you any of the history and how long it's been in here and.
Okay. Thank you.
So do we have a motion to approve the backwash pump? Do I have that right?
Yes, you have it right.
To approve repairs on the backwash pump. And to waive the requirement of 3 quotes.
Just a clarifying question, if we approve this, are we approving the 20,747 plus the 20,498? Or are we gonna handle these two separately?
There are two, the special wastewater discharge is separate.
The
They could put it
upgrade
in
to the
the
mechanical pump is an
Oh, I'm
additional
sorry.
cost
I'm
to the
sorry.
20,700?
Right,
Just
so it would
wondering
be
if we're-
20,000.
You could put 'em
Bundle it
Together.
together? Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Oh, no worries.
So do I have anybody who will approve that repair and the waiver of the 3 quotes?
I move to approve the waiver of the 3 quotes, approve the repair and the upgrade of the mechanical seal.
Thank you. Do we have a
I'll
second?
that, since it was so well worded.
Thank you. All those, because it's money, we have to do roll call.
Andler,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Rule,
Aye.
Moda,
Aye.
Beckman,
Aye.
Curtis,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, Katie, now we can move on to the wastewater discharge.
Yeah, so next we have the application for the domestic waste haulers. On October 20th, the Columbus Utility Commission approved the sewer rates, user rates, which included the new domestic rates for the domestic waste haulers. All this is it's the same application that we've used in the past. I just changed the rates and just made the rate adjustment. So I've just updated the new approved changes of rates or charges and fees. And that's all I have. This was exactly the same application as they used in the past.
Does anybody have any questions on the application? Did everybody read the application? Hearing no questions, do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the application for private wastewater discharge haulers.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next on the agenda, we will be adjourning to closed session under WISSTAT 19.851C to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Do I have a motion to move to closed session?
I'll make a motion, move to closed session.
Thank you, Brooke. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion to move to closed session.
Thank you. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Roll.
Oh, roll, I'm sorry.
Rule,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Moda,
Aye.
Curtis,
Aye.
Beckman,
Aye.
Andler, motion carries.
Thank you.
7 o'clock, okay.
Thank you for joining us. Have a motion?
I have a motion to approve the job description changes and wage adjustments, including, to include a recommendation to City Council pertaining to closed session item number 6.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Do we need to do a roll call?
I would.
Okay.
I don't have anything right. Right on the line. Brooke. Laura. Aye. Sarah.
Aye.
Regan.
Aye.
Sandy.
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have the superintendent's report. When she's done writing.
Right? And you have the motion when they came back in? Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. I did have one item to update you on besides what was in the superintendent's report, which was in your packet. Actually, 2 things, just to let you know. The eligible amount for the tax roll had gone down by half. Yep, so that was kudos to Vicki and Lori for their collection efforts to get that back down. But from our special meeting that was in a couple weeks ago, we had some problems at both of the plants. We had an inspection of a well at one, which is required every 5 years from the DNR. Well, as they were inspecting it, they found some problems. At that same time, we had some PLCs, the programmable logistic controllers, that kept faulting at water plant 1. So to give an update, they took the controllers from water plant 2 because it was down for inspection, put them at water plant 1. They have not faulted. We had Dave from Rooker to Milky come out and he cleaned some of the controllers and some ends and stuff, and so that has been running good. He still has the other ones on order, and you know, we're hoping before April, but that's the projected delivery date.
Does that mean they don't think it's an electrical issue at that one?
No, they think it was one of the pieces in the controller. And by cleaning it and bringing it down, so now they have the ones that were at water plant 1, they have at water plant 2, and once all the repairs and the cleaning and the process and that well gets back online, we'll try to run them controllers there. If they fault there, then we know it's either an equipment problem or, I mean, that would be the best guess at that time. And then we would have to kind of go through, we wouldn't replace everything, we'd try to find it. So, you know, we'd do some testing on certain equipment to try to find which one's the faulty part and get that replaced. So, yes. And then water plant 2 with the inspection, how they came back in, they televised the well, they found out that the casing, which is about 220 feet down into the ground, is dirty and needs cleaning. From the bottom of the casing to about, because the well's about 675 feet, so everything else looks good. So they're going to come back, power wash that. They have the motor in the repair shop, and they have replaced a couple of wore-out bearings, which in return will make the well run more efficiently. Nothing major was wrong with the motor, just replacing the worn-out parts due to it's from 1994. Once they have the well cleaned and the motor back from the repair shop, they will come in, install the new casing, get everything put back together. Then we will flush the well to get any debris out and take a bacteria sample. Once that comes back good, the well will go back online. This is expected to happen in the next 2 weeks. So yes, Jake is breathing easier these days.
Does this mean he's not having to manually reset it?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
that's awesome news.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Next, on the agenda, we have future agenda topics. Is there any request?
The comprehensive stormwater study is supposed to be finished soon. If once that report is final, if we could have that on an agenda when it's appropriate.
Sure. That may be, probably like January or February.
I'd say January. I think January would be good.
Would you be comfortable with that?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Anything, any other request?
Just what was mentioned earlier about the EP3 or E3P fund projects.
Yep. Okay. Okay. With that said, before we adjourn, did we want to talk about the 15th?
Yeah, what's your recommendation on that?
Yeah, I think we should talk about it a little bit. So the employees, as of current, are not interested in having the holiday party at 4:30. And will not be attending the meet and greet as we had planned on the 15th. We could offer to do something at noon, and those who can make it, can make it. Or we can skip it.
What do the employees want?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
What do the employees want?
I can ask them and get a more definite answer. They just didn't want to do the after hours, after
Okay.
their work hours was, so.
The 4:30 timeframe
Yeah.
is the issue.
Correct. So I didn't get in, but I can definitely.
Yeah, we could float it, I mean, 4:30 or noon, either way, can I make it, but yeah, I'm in favor of,
I think it would be
Being
nice
flexible.
to bring in a nice, warm, full meal for them
Yeah.
at noon. You know, not just subs and stuff, but maybe,
Yeah.
a full hot meal. And those of us who can attend, can, and those of us who can't, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then we would push the December 15th meeting back to 6:30.
Good.
Does that
That'll
work?
help.
I will not be able to attend. There is a winter concert for one of my kids at 6:30 that day.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. All right, so with that taken care of, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank
Much opposition.
I want some more clear.